Hey everybody, and welcome back. Going to be a busy night tonight, and so far I'm on here by myself. Well, I got silver on the, or stainless on the server, but other than that, either buy or sells. Hey Mark, what's up? And I think what we're going to do is we're going to sell these sunflowers. Yep, we're going to sell these sunflowers. Make ourselves, whoa, let's not run into it. We're going to make ourselves a little bit of cash. Got 4 fields to harvest. Where is everybody? Genetic? I don't know. We just came off of like a day and a half of rain. As of 5 p.m. it was still raining on the server. And I jumped on here a little bit before 9 and it had stopped. That pretty much sealed my fate. So some folks may have just made alternate plans, figuring that if it was still raining at 5, then likely it would still be raining later this evening. Oh, back up a little bit. Oh, we're tipping. There we go. $700. Not too bad, not too bad. I think in fact what we'll do is let's go ahead and send 10,000 to the bank to pay down our loan. We're down to $50,000 worth of loan. Not bad because I think last time we were streaming we had, well, I know we had over $100,000 worth of loan at that point. Down to 50. Thanks to our Piggly Wigglies and selling some excess crop. I know the other server that's running a economy type gameplay, I know they just flipped over to a new server last night. So as you know, the first few weeks on a new server, new map, is the busiest. We're doing something, hey Grey Wolf, we're doing something interesting. They're starting out as a collective, and once the collective meets a goal, they're going to split the money even Steven, and then basically set off on their own to run their own farms and their own land. And we just flipped the community server over tonight. I don't know if it's ready to go yet or not, but I just set that one up with a new map earlier tonight. And this one will be the next one to go. Get rotated out. We're going to leave a swath because I want to sell the straw. Alright, let's go in here with this thing. Let's go 15 meters. Get in. Is that's not 5 meters, is it? It's 5.5. Let's turn that off. It's back in here. Down. That, and then we'll set the course. This field's kind of an interesting shape. There's the old horse farm. Roy used to run that. Alright, let's just check. Still at 5.5. Okay, let's do this. Get our 15 meters down. Yeah, okay, now we can pay attention. Yeah, it's either they're either scared away because of the rain that we had, or they are over on the other server, starting out. Either way, all's good. All's good. Don't need to hit that tree. Well, genetic, I don't know. It's hard to say. We don't want them rushing things, that's of course. I know there's a fair bit of folks, including yourself, that are very patiently waiting, knowing that you're really not playing 19 at all as a result. Lock it in now. There we go. Don't know if we're going to take the time to bale this or if we're just going to pick it up loose. Have to see what Maverick has as far as equipment goes. Still has the bale trailer and the baler, or if he has just a forage wagon that's empty. Need to avoid those poles. Hey Mondo, what's up? How's everybody's weekend going so far? Hey, Ryan. Let's see here. Looks like we better empty when we're up there by the trailer. I'd hate to have to get filled up. Oh, yeah. Well, they increased the standard deduction. And I think, a very large percentage of the taxpayers pay standard deduction. And it was in our favor. I know last year it didn't work out so well for us. The wife's work didn't take enough out, and I started plugging in all the numbers in, and it kept showing, we owed money. I'm like, what? Why do we owe money? And well, a couple things did us in, but yeah, the lack of the proper amount of taxes being taken out, that really pushed it over the edge. Yeah. Hey, Oren, Peter, what's up? Nothing? Just up here on the up on the map that I shall never remember the name to, but it's in the description. Harvesting up some fields. We just got done probably 2 days worth of rain. At least a day and a half of rain. We had like 5 fields to harvest when we got started. Yeah, that one. That's the name of it. I'm sure to forget the name. So I thought it was pretty interesting that Giants updated this harvester and the header last week because the color was wrong. Guess it was too yellow. But you don't want to force yourself. Well, don't force yourself to play it. If you're not digging it, you're not digging it, right? Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Is season 6 months out? Is it 3 months out? Is it 9 months out? It's really hard to say. I haven't really gotten a lot of info on the work in progress thread. Occasional screenshots or something. Makes it hard to be patient when there isn't any updates, right? Well, yeah, I mean, but what I mean by patient, I mean by not bugging them. You know, not going, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? Alright, well, I think that's going to be the last trip on this field. Hey James, what's up? We're going to jump up and do 51, 39, and 55. All those have canola on them. Oh no, we're going to have to double back. There was an interesting map over at FSUK today. Kunston, I think. Kunston, something like that. It was previously released in 17. It's got some custom animated trains. They're not drivable, but there's some animated trains that seem to go through with some decent regularity, it looks like. Small little map, has just a single sell point for your crops, BGA. Interesting enough, though, it is not equipped for animals at all. There are no sell points for milk, or eggs, or wool. So if you want to do those, you're going to have to be putting your own in. Yeah. It's definitely been updated. They've been updating it very regularly. I don't know why you'd be getting only seeing the one from January. Well, it's so Silver's over there harvesting himself. Not Silver. Stainless, oh my gosh, it's going to continue forever. Stainless is over there harvesting that field. I don't know, I look at the English forums and everything.
I swear I'm going to change my name.
Well, yeah. Gonna hire this guy off. Get him started. Why did you go and stop? There he goes. Okay. Let's get out of these prickly bushes. There we go. Alright, let's run up here. Get our trailer. I really like the dirt road texture from that other map. That. What are you doing? Whatever. Whatever. Okay, we got oats. Do we have oats in the bin? We don't have oats in the bin. 551. Let's see. Let's go ahead and figure out where that is. That direction. Right. Let's go sell these. It's blowing chunks when I'm around heavy trees. Doesn't seem to blow chunks on this map. Field Mountain, obviously, it was blowing chunks pretty good. Did pretty good, I think, on the other map, the Kunston. Hey, Trow Pit Gaming, what's up? Oh, it's coming up. I don't think I've ever been to this sell point. I mean, doing pigs, we really don't have much opportunity to sell crop. Because we were just raising what we needed to feed them. We sold pigs a lot more than we sold crop. Let's go up here. Let's pay for another $5,000 on our loan. Welcome to chat. Gonna lose a little bit of crop, but whatever. Stop. Alright, let's go down here and check and see what Maverick's got in the way of baler. Whoa! Jump into the tail end of a cow. There is his forage wagon. He's got a bale trailer. His forage wagon's empty. Okay. Baler. There she is. All right. Let's go. I think it'd just be easier to. Oh yeah, let's use this. Oh yeah. Never miss an opportunity to. Oh, shit. Never miss an opportunity to use a nice tractor like this. Whoa. There we go. I agree with this map too. I'll take a little shortcut over here to our field. Yeah, I know there's some maps with multi-terrain angle on it. Are multi-terrain angle enabled. Oh, it's gonna be a round baler, and we got hills. At least we can choose when we unload the baler. In fact, I think the PC version of Marwell Manor should have Should have multi-terrain angle. What are you doing? You're not supposed to auto unload. Current drop mode is automatic. No, it's not automatic. I was like, why did I just stop? So I was thinking a little bit about this today related to that Anderson DLC that's coming out. There is a bale wagon, bale collector, specifically for silage bales because it has a claw as a grab as opposed to a lifting arm to grab on the outside of the bale, grab around it. But the way it grabs, the bale needs to be up on its edge, not the way this baler empties it, and not the way that the Coon wrapper unloads it. Basically, the only wrappers that will position the bale properly for that other trailer, that new trailer, is the old Ursus wrapper and the new Anderson wrapper. Oops. There. That one there too. That round bale extension or round bale add-on, baler add-on, whatever that script mod was that I did a mod review on probably about 2 months ago, that is really handy. One, it stops the baler automatically, like there. I didn't have to pay attention; it just stops the baler. Two, we can set it to unload automatically or manually, or in automatic mode, it does this collect thing where it'll unload 2 bales at once, and then it will hold the other bale until it's that dash line. It's got the foot on the throttle, not paying attention at all, and all of a sudden the baler just stops. It's great. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one up there, I think that's 6. This is 7. Yeah, I saw that too. I think there's just a really, I think there's just a long delay in the unload animation. That's one thing that I'm going to look at when I can get a copy of it when it comes out. Is basically, is it just a really long unload animation. Or does it really just not unload very well? I am really looking forward to that, to those trailers that unload out the back and lay the stacks down on the ground horizontally. So the harvester has quit whatever it's doing. The one thing I'm interested in seeing with that, with the wood chipper, the bio baler, is the yield. Wondering if, since the bio baler only does 2,000 liter wood chip bales, wondering if you might actually get a better yield if you used a forage wagon or the forager with that. With the poplar head. Because it didn't seem like those bales were being made very fast. So I want to do a little bit of a benchmark test. I want to basically harvest one strip of poplar with a forage harvester and see how many chips we get, and then one strip with the bio baler, see how many wood chip bales we make, and see if we come close. We're getting a decent number of bales of straw off this. Hey DB, what's up? Are you outlawing of the Old West? Sounds like that has gotten you drawn in. Hey Mervin, what's up? Another bale's worth of straw down. Hey CJ, how you doing? Doesn't look like we will, based on how thin that is. We'll just give him almost half a bale. Alright, let's see here. Let's go ahead and make this, park this back. Then, let's see what the harvester's problem was. Alright. Turn that off. Now let's go up here and figure out. We did basically finish. Well, not really, but kinda. Clean this up. Get him started on another field. And then we will go collect those bales and sell them off. We'll lock that in there. Say goodbye to our little friend. Go. I wonder, I had mentioned earlier that this harvester was updated this week, and the only thing in the update message was that it was, you know, proper color was used. But I mean, it came out either on update day or the day after update day. So I'm kind of wondering, was the update needed for them to change the color on this? We're hearing some random folks whisper about different other things that were in the various improvements and gameplay balance line item. Some folks are thinking that maybe Giants increased the weights of certain things, which then has made the real weights mod cause loads to be extra heavy. I think Maverick was thinking that maybe they upped the price on milk. when I looked at this, when I looked at the server pricing here, it didn't look like it was that. Didn't look any higher than normal. I've seen milk that high before. No, I've got Stainless on the server. He's over working his fields. But other than Stainless and me, we are the only folks on tonight so far. Oh, maybe they did something with trucks in general. I mean, I would think. I mean, we've got real weights on in this gameplay. Pretty sure we do. But I haven't noticed any additional problems hauling a load of pigs to market or pulling grain around with that little tractor there. A vehicle creaking sound of horses. They're going to make me want to ride a horse just to hear it. Alright, catch you later, DB. Unload here, look at that, and then we'll go up, set up on the other field, hire him off, and like I said, go get those bales. Looks like we're probably going to have 2 loads of bales. And what do we got? We got 1 bale sell point. The barn. Go ahead and highlight that because I don't remember where it is. Got a decent price. We're going to sell this too. So we pretty much have our pigs set for the rest of the time we're going to be on the map. Well, I guess the vehicle creaking on the horses is just their old bones. Ooh. Let's see. It's the next field right here. Here we go. started. Oh. Would help if I straighten my wheel out. Fire you off. And let's get back here to... There we go, the vent. Well, CJ, I'm kind of an interesting player. I play with keyboard and wheel and pedals. Like at this moment, I'm using the keyboard. When I was driving that harvester around, I was using the steering wheel. Basically, if I'm in a cab like this, I'm using the wheel. If I'm in third person, I'm probably using the keyboard. Why on earth would... Well, in that, the Outlaws game... Oh, this is the one that, holds up 3. Right, it looks really dumb if you look at the folding 3 from this side. It doesn't look so dumb when you look at it from the front. Let's look at it from the front because it looked pretty stupid from the back. You just see this bale kind of floating in the air. You see there's a lifter arm that lifts and holds it. And then when the next bale comes, it slides all the bales back a row and then lowers down. See, that makes sense there. There goes stainless. But it was funny, like right around the time I was going to release a mod video of this trailer that I had found, the Anderson DLC was announced, I think, and it had the same, not the same trailer, but the same concept of a bale trailer that held 3 stacks of round bales. We're going to get them all on this load. Sweet deal. Just see if we got them all. Ooh, it's not running the pole. Looks like we got them all. I was saying on that Outlaws of the Old Out West or whatever. You can get a donkey. Apparently, you need a donkey to run some type of mine mining operation or oil pump or something. So the barn is this way. Hitting. Oh. Hold that up. Done ripped off the loading arm. So CJ, what I have is for a wheel, I've got a Thrustmaster T150. Yeah, it looks interesting. I'm not ready to bite on it yet. Uh-oh, here comes. It's got wide or dual narrows on there. $2,200. Pretty easy money. Alright, let's go put Maverick's stuff away. I think I'm going to buy him a fuel tank. I think I'm going to fill up his fuel tank for using his stuff. We've been set up as contractors with each other, so that's how I was able to basically use his stuff. Never really saw much 7 Days to Die. He's got a back door into his farm. Go. I think I'm charging him fuel. I was going to buy him fuel, but my money didn't go down. I'll have to send him a couple $100. There. We got a back way in. Okay. Hey, Muslim Hamdi, what's up? I've not seen any type of graphic daylight coloring mods. Yeah, I guess you're looking at, is it was 17 yellower? Used to be a PGA bunker there. Looks like he got rid of the bunker. Close up shop. And while I'm thinking about it, shoot, I can't send him money because he's not logged in. Oh, that was not intended. I didn't intend to spend his money for fuel. Oh, let's see here. What? Let's refresh this. Go. There we go. I had to refresh my stream. It'll be interesting to see. You know, we were talking about seasons earlier. It'll be interesting to see what seasons does to the lights. Yeah, I haven't seen anything that I recall that changes lighting like that. Changes the color of the light, hue. I had to refresh it. I had to refresh my browser to get it come back up. Yeah, I think I had to refresh my browser because I keep a preview of the stream up. And it was just sitting there spinning for me.
Same.
YouTube had a little gasp. I don't have any dropped frames or anything, so we're pumping out good content. sign up for the other server?
Yep.
What's your plan on that one?
I'm in half 5, which is going to be between Raz and Maverick. So I'm primarily going to be doing lumber.
5 is that big? That's the big one in the middle. That's kind of it's just bearable. Am I remembering right?
Yeah.
Roy sent me a message, said I should check out the BGA and make sure it works the way I think it's time.
Mav said something about the cost was low on what it was paying out.
These poles have collisions, no driving through those. Go up. Oh, I keep turning into the pole, don't I? Going to make that turn, getting sharp, but I run right into the pole. There we are. Might as well unload while we're here. See what the running price for canola is. Ooh, $9.51 and climbing. I know where that is. That's not bad. Got almost 12,000 liters now, so that's 12,000 bucks almost. Then I think we're gonna get another maybe 8 out of that other field, maybe 6. We get 18,000 out of there. Pay our debt down by another 15 grand. Hey Chad, what's up? I have to tell you, I haven't had any run-ins with problems with with that site. That's one of the ones that seems to be less less nasty with pop-ups and such. I looked at it earlier. I'm going to do a video on it, but I don't remember. I don't remember where I got it from. I know I got it from modhub.us, but I mean where it linked to. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the... what the hell, let's just go ahead and sell this off. So yeah, you click free, and then if another window opens, just close it. And then the page should refresh and start to download. But a lot of those sites will open up another window or another tab, I should say. And just whatever the other tab is, just close it. Don't even look at it. The page that had the free on it will refresh, and then in a few seconds the download will start. Rolling in the dough. $45,000. So let's go back and do. Now we're down to 30 grand. $30,000 worth of debt. We'll be out of debt by Monday, it looks like. Sell about $12,000 worth of pigs every day. Every few days, we manage to do $24,000 worth of pigs. It's dangerous, Alan, isn't it? Oh, Chad. Thanks for the super chat. No problem, man, and thank you. Out. So that downhill reminded me of that that Kunston map came out today on FSUK. There's a little there's an autocross course on it. Take your little Gator, your Mahindra, and go to town driving a off-road like motorbike course. There we go. Park that here. Where did the harvester go? Oh, there he is. our header needs repaired. It's pretty well worn down. I see we're harvesting pretty slow. This should be the last field we need to harvest. Yep. Then we'll see about maybe starting to get these flipped back. I think we'll put, if we put anything on them, we'll probably put sunflowers on them. They seem to be paying out pretty darn good and have a decent yield rate. This here. Still can't get over the update to this tractor. They removed the ability to have front loader arms and a 3-point front hitch, 3-point front PTO. The old version, obviously you can see we can have both. But in the new version that came out on the Mod Hub the other day, you can only have one or the other. Well, Chad, I think it's great too. I think it's good. Haven't had a chance to use it yet, but from what I saw of the folks that I watched the other day that had advanced copies, and from just looking at the descriptions, looking up the real life items online, I think it's a very useful and a good DLC. $9 or $10 isn't that bad of a price either. So yeah, I already pre-ordered it. Look forward to getting it, and we're going to be doing a stream Monday night using it, showing it off, because you should be able to download it from the Giant site Monday around 6 Eastern time, 6 or 7 Eastern, whatever makes it midnight in Germany. But I like the bio baler concept, because it allows us now to bale poplar. Gives us an alternate way to harvest that crop. I think that crop is probably one of the least planted crops, simply because, one, it takes so long to plant. Two, it's very expensive to harvest, because you have to have a forage harvester, you have to have the poplar header, and you don't get a huge return. Now with seasons in 17, if you did poplar, you could hold on to it till winter, and the wood chips would pay out a great deal better than they did during the rest of the year. But in normal pricing, they don't pay out a whole lot. So if you can make it cheaper to harvest them, then it makes them a little bit more profitable to begin with. Now The inline wrappers, those are great looking. You know, around here, farmers use those. We'll see. You know, you'll see long tubes of white lined up along a field edge, and then you know during winter, spring, you'll see the tube get shorter as basically the farmers you know open the tube up and start pulling the bales out for feeding. So to be able to replicate that in gameplay now is a pretty big deal to me. Some people are like, well, it's just another way of wrapping. Well, it's completely different. Because you're wrapping you're making one long. You're not individually wrapping them now. You're breaking them up. So, like that, I like like what they're calling the bale movers. Those are the bale trailers that unload horizontally. I never was a big fan of the vertical unloading ones that tipped up. Depending on what you use to you know, after the bales were tipped up, depending on what implement you used, it may have been pretty hard to grab the top bales. But again, it's kind of more realistic for my area. And you know, I see bales stacked alongside the field. I see them in rows, maybe beside each other. Maybe 2 rows and then a row on top, but I don't see them, you know, in a vertical pile. Forestry trailer is just a forestry trailer. I'm never going to use it beyond Monday night stream, pretty guaranteed. But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a bale handling DLC. I'm looking forward to it. You know, there were some folks in the forums were obviously going on about how they wanted a John Deere DLC. And it's like, why do you want a John Deere DLC? You already got John Deere. I mean, you want a John Deere cultivator and a seeder? That's what you want to pay for? You want to pay for just yet another seeder that just is a John Deere model? I don't think so. I mean, that would be a DLC I probably wouldn't get. But all the DLCs other than the Ropa DLC so far have added something to the game that wasn't previously there. All Ropa did was add a brand. But like the Coon added the square wrapper. They added the whole the front seat hopper concept. What else? What else was part of the Coon pack that was kind of newish? The Big Bud obviously brought in a lot of really big equipment. Brought in some new brands. Brought in the Big Buds. Platinum DLC brought in all kinds of new equipment because we had a new crop, sugar cane. The Ropa DLC just brought in Ropa. Yet another beet and potato harvester that was big. Now, if it brought in smaller potato equipment, then it would have been something completely different. It's another thing we're kind of short on. We don't have small potato harvesting equipment. Kind of have small beet harvesting equipment, but not really. Hey, BT Thomas, what's up? Well, you know, G, I'm just going to call you G Stinton Ford. There was a mod in 17 that was basically a tube silo for grain. It was over at American Eagle's Modding. Now, I think one of the season's folks made a comment over at the over in the Giants forums recently about kind of hinting that there were features that were not had not yet been disclosed. Folks were really excited about the features that they had announced. Imagine what they would be about the features that had not yet been mentioned. And that kind of got people excited and speculating. You know, late in 17, I was toying around with a development mod from Real Logger. It was part of the season's team. The soil compaction mod, and that was pretty slick. Early in 19, I had asked them if they thought they were going to bring that into 19, and at the time, they didn't think or know how they would incorporate it. Because in 17, they were basically leveraging the 3 times harvest need to plow. And they basically were reworking how that functioned. Well, the whole 3 times in plowing is gone. You know, in these fields where we've only ever planted canola, we haven't had to plow since day one. On the fields that we plant corn in, we have to plow every time. So they would have to figure another mechanic. But yeah, soil compaction was quite interesting because depending on the moisture percentage of the ground and the type of tire and the contact patch of your tire, you may or may not introduce compaction. And if you did introduce compaction, depending on the level of compaction you had, you may or may not have to plow. So again, if you were careful and you did it right, you can churn through multiple years and never have to plow again. If you did it right. well, that does our harvesting for the night. Let's go put this away. Go sell that canola. Get a couple thousand more. That's not our field. It'll be interesting to see how they do seasons with respect to season length. They maintain the 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and 24 days. Or if they move to something else. Oops. Hey, Christopher. All right. There we go. There's been some basic info over at their Facebook. And, of course, they've got like a seasons thread over in the Giants forums. New maps. Wow. All at the same time. Rocking and rolling. Rough ride. That's right, one day at a time. Take it easy. Let's see if we have kind of how much slurry we got. Now this is the first version. They mellowed it down for the second version, but she's louder outside. Real loud outside. I can tell you, Michael, there's lots of people that the old adage, once you go with seasons, you don't want to go back concept. I was mentioning to some folks earlier today over on Slack that I was telling folks that I thought seasons ruined the game for lots of people. meaning that folks that had experienced and really enjoyed the season's gameplay in 17, when they got into 19, and they just had the base gameplay, they were like, there needs to be more to this. And they really just burned, they got bored, they lost interest real fast. You're all over the field. Whoa, you just sprayed me. You know, there's a fair number of folks that are like, yeah, I don't want to play the game until Seasons comes out. I'm not interested in playing it until Seasons comes out. And you know what? That's fine. That's their choice. Yeah, you definitely had to plan. If you didn't plan and you realized that you forgot to do something, well, you may have lost your window. Get it done. Let's see. Shut this down and let's see how much slurry we got. 38,000 liters of slurry. Okay. Let's see here. What's this? So yeah, you had, you know, in the winter you had frozen ground, or you could have ground that froze. And when the ground was frozen, basically you couldn't do any field work. So there was no plowing, there was no cultivating, no fertilizing, definitely no planting. Pretty much no field work when the ground's frozen, so you gotta find something else to do. During spring, you had to pay attention to the ground temps, because if you planted a crop too soon and the ground never got warm enough, the seeds would never germinate, and basically whatever seed you put in the ground would just be wasted. I lost a whole boatload of fields of soybeans and corn one game year playing Churn Farm because it never got warm enough. Then you had if you left straw out on the ground, or grass out on the ground, or hay on the ground, and it rained, well, kiss it goodbye because it was going to disappear on you. If you baled grass, better not, because grass bales would just rot away after 2 or 3 days, or well, 3 or 4 days. They would just vanish on you after 4 days, and in the interim, they would lose their value, or their capacity, their volume. Thanks for the sub, Aldo. So the only reason to bale grass was to immediately wrap it. Why am I not seeing? It's putting it down. I'm just not seeing it. But you would make your grass bales and you would wrap them right away. They would need to be wrapped immediately. You would make your hay, Just can't make your hay in the rain. You'd have to make sure your hay was left outside, or was not left outside. You need to make sure your hay was stored in a barn. Same with your straw. If you had the wet crop symbol up, you couldn't convert grass to hay because it was wet. You had things like yeah, if you planted, let's say, you planted soybeans at the proper time, okay? But you'd have to wait until probably mid-autumn to harvest those. And depending on your season's length, your time from planting to harvest could be anywhere between 4 game days to 20 game days, let's say. So you really had to plan things out. You had to know that if you were playing a long seasons game, that it might be 45 to 50 game days from plant to harvest. So you had to plan. You basically had to, you know, have some time management. Silage bales weren't silage right away. So in the base game, as soon as you could wrap a silage bale and immediately feed it. That works. In fact, in the promo video for the Anderson DLC, they're really proud to say that in real life, farmers have to wrap it and wait for it to ferment. But with, in game, it's a silage bale right away. But with seasons play, basically, if you wrapped a bale, it would be grass. It would be wrapped grass for one seasonal duration, one seasonal transition. So let's say you're playing 9-day seasons, okay? Well, you would have wrapped grass for 3 game days. And only after 3 game days would it convert to silage. Now, I was kind of known for the longer seasons play. So I played some 24-day season maps, and basically with 24-day seasons, you had 8 game days from when you wrapped the bale before it would become silage. So imagine if you ran out of silage bales, and you were like, "Oh no, I ran out of silage bales." Well, you would have 8 game days before you would have any more. And in base 17, you fed your animals every 6 days. The seasons made it so you had to feed them every 3. Okay? So if you had to feed them every 3 days, and you were 8 days away from having silage, there was 5 days there that you didn't have food for your cows. That would be a pretty big problem. Because unlike in the base game, where your animals can't die, well, in Seasons, animals died off. If you didn't keep them with food and water, they would die off. So you might have 10 cows, and the next day you'd only have 8. And if you didn't feed them that day, the next day you might only have 6. And by the time you get around to being able to feed your cows, you may only have 3 or 4. So it really changes the game dynamic. Or at least it changed the game dynamic in 17. We don't really know what it's going to do in 19 yet. We can only speculate it's going to build upon 17. Yeah, I'm glad it no longer rains in buildings and in tractors. Glad the tractors have working wiper blades. You know, there were mods in 17 where we had working blade wipers. I'm glad to see that as standard for the most part. Yeah, we saw early on, we saw that they were working on so when it snowed, if you drove through the field, your tires would get white. In 17, they just got muddy. Then we saw, as you're saying, genetic, we saw them posting screenshots where they were working on a grass drying concept where grass would dry over time, dependent on weather conditions. So, you know, like in regions of the U.S., the concept of tedding grass is completely foreign. We don't do it. We don't need to do it, because we have very good drying conditions. So the ability to cut grass, let it sit out for a day, and it naturally convert itself to hay over time is very real to lots of us. So if they're able to actually implement that, that looks really cool. They showed off some early images of maybe how weeds would work. You know, in 19, weeds just blanket an entire field. The entire field is just completely covered in weeds. But what they showed off was basically patches of weeds, where you wouldn't have to weed the whole field, you would only have to weed little patches. But yeah, you know, I mean, what I was trying to get at was, you know, when I was a kid and we would make hay, we might cut the hay, you know, mid-morning. Once the dew was off of it, mid-morning we might cut the hay, and we would leave it out there probably for, I don't know, we might leave it out overnight. Then we come back probably the next day around noonish and rake it into a windrow. with one of those bar rakes. And then we'd come in probably late afternoon and just start baling it. So in a perfect world, we would turn the hay over once. Mow it, we turn it over in a windrow, and then we would bale it. If it got wet or it just wasn't drying very well, we would use a kicker to fluff it up. It wouldn't scatter it, it would just fluff it up. Then we'd come in with the rake. All right, let's see here. That needs lime. That's good to go. Oops. That one needs lime, and it probably also needs plowed because it was sunflowers. Yeah, G7. I've got colorblind mode turned on. Just makes it easier to see. How wide is this thing? Six and a half meters. Go. We are. Yeah, I just turned colorblind mode on because some of the colors I find difficult to tell the different stages. So it just helps with that. Let's see this. If we get rid of fertilizer, oh, it doesn't need. Sweet. So we just need lime. Then we'll be able to cultivate that. So I know the roller should not be cultivating like this. I know the roller is intended to be pulled behind the plow to kind of flatten the plow ridges, the furrows, and break up the dirt. But you know what? It's pretty wide, it's pretty fast, and it works. This is where we say we play realistic-ish. Stainless is doing some fertilizing contracts. How do I like the new map? This map? Or are you talking about some other new map? I like this map a lot, even though we're getting ready to to move away from it. But that's because, well, in reality, I've actually been on this map for a decent amount of time. Check real quick. I've actually been on here for 780 hours of gameplay, believe it or not. Sometime next week, we're probably going to flip over to another map. Just to keep it fresh. You know, that's one of the problems without seasons. Really, the only way to keep it fresh is to just jump from one map to the next. What was it? I did a map video on it, what, last week? It was the one that had 6 farms and 2 BGAs. 2 different maps, depending if it was single player or multiplayer. It starts with an S. Let me tab over and get the name of it. That's it. Swatch this, yeah. I'm just gonna call it the, yeah, that one. I'm gonna call it the Schwartz map. Anybody remember Spaceballs? The power of the Schwartz? So yeah, we've got 7 other guys lined up. And we know who's going to own which farm. I'm going to run one of the BGAs. And we'll see how that works out, because, to be honest, I have not used a BGA in 19. Looks like we dropped out there for a minute. Moment. Alright, are we back? You guys see me? Do you guys see me now? OBS is wanting to cut out on me. Just let me know, am I back? Looks like I'm back, but I can't tell. Whoa, what happened there? That tractor got worn awful quick. Alright, cool. Man, that thing just got worn right between you, right before your eyes. as fast. So we're going to go up here. We're going to put lime on this other field. We'll cultivate it. Park it under the shade tree. Now, you know, it'd be interesting for them to implement in seasons would be, where did I put the track? Oh, it's over here. Would be the concept of a drought. Yeah. If you would, if you might could lose a crop because the weather just didn't cooperate. You just didn't have rain. Yeah. Have more things happen as a result of things completely out of your control. Like, you could very easily in seasons lose a crop because you had bad weather and you couldn't get it harvested. You could lose a crop because you just never had the temperatures get warm enough. So, kind of more ways to fail, but fail as a result of not doing anything wrong. Just nature did not work out for you. Alright, catch you later, Mondo. Now, for the purists at heart, you're not going to like what you see. This is my lime and fertilizer setup. Kind of one reason why I really was I wouldn't say upset, but disappointed to see that this tractor got updated and lost the ability to have a 3-point hitch and a front loader arms. Because in this configuration, I need both. No. Now, no, we can't do that anymore. As you can see, I did not update the server. We'd have to get the bag and lift, like Stainless has. So what we do is we lower that down to the bottom. Come in here, we hook this, pick it up, and we spill into it. Small button, and then we pick that up, and there we go. And now we go off. Do our lime job. See, we need to wait in the rear because the lime is heavy. It does work, and as long as you don't put too much in the front. pretty big weight on the rear. Spreader line. But the purists will shy away from such ludicrous behavior. It's just narrow enough that we can do this. An up and down pass. Go. Or if anybody else needs lime. 51 needs lime. Okay, we'll get to that another day. I'm just going to cultivate this field and then be done for the night. Man, the paint just peels off that quick. Go. Put in. Guys, I think I'll be taking tomorrow night off, and we'll be back Monday evening. The plan is Monday evening we'll be on the Anderson DLC, playing with it over on Ravenport. I took some time earlier today and got Ravenport all set up to play with the Anderson equipment. I've got a field of poplar planted and ready to harvest. Got a field of grass. Got a bunch of round and square bales to wrap. Got grass bales, got hay bales. Plenty of bales to wrap, plenty of bales to pick up. And I've got a field of straw with a bunch of round and square bales. Again, plenty of bales to pick up. And we'll be able to make some mixed rations with the new mixers. I didn't even mention the mixers when we were talking about the DLC. But the larger capacity mixers have got to be, you know, they're going to be an important element with the amount of food that cows take in the base game. You know, I mean, trying to feed 120 cows with a 16,000 liter mixed rations mixer is just, oh my gosh, it just takes forever. Endless loads upon endless loads. But to be able to have a mixer that holds close to 30,000, that's almost halving the number of loads right there. Probably around the normal time frame, around 9:30. 9 or 9:30. I'll know by 6 or 7 o'clock if I'm going to get the DLC when I think it's going to drop, because it should be available for download from Giants around 6 or 7 p.m. on Monday, 25th. Assuming that is true, then I'll be able to get the copy. I'll be able to finish prepping the map by basically placing the equipment where I want to put it. Then I'll schedule it up. I'll have to make a screenshot and all that fun jazz. So probably around 9:30. I probably won't be able to get down here to the computer until after 7. I got to get the family home. I got to get them dinner. Everything. But yeah, the launch day is next Tuesday, the 26th. And from the Giants website, they, at least in 17, they would let you download it at midnight on release day. So it should be available at midnight the 26th of March, which for those of us on the East Coast of the US, that is around 7 or 6 p.m. on Monday. For folks who are on the West Coast, that is 3 p.m., 3 or 4 p.m. on Monday. And for the unfortunate souls that are in Australia, it's like, I don't know, 3 a.m. on Wednesday or something. Something weird. Alright guys, well that's just about going to do it. Like I said, I'm going to finish up this field and then I'm going to hang it up for the night. If you got it off of Steam, or if you're going to order it off of Steam, it might not be available until sometime on Tuesday. They seem to have been delayed in releasing it, at least in 17. We'll just have to see. Until next time, happy farming.